that make you healthier,
Of
wiser,
course.
and overall a
Give me some
stronger
of them,
immune
baby.
system. We have Winter Sun, 50%
Nice.
off, vitamin D3, back in
Yes,
stock. We have
never
Ultra
go into the sun again because we give you the sun in a bottle. It's great, especially for gamers. Ultra 12, advanced vitamins, B12, non-GMO.
12, high quality vitamin B12. Take it out of the tongue again. Back in stock, 50% off. We have our incredibly strong turmeric extract.
And you know what's great is that Alex Jones is a walking model for all of his products. Like when you see him walking around, you're like, there's a man who takes all of the Alex Jones InfoWars products, and this is what I could become if I just keep taking it.
Well, I noticed a video I was sent this morning. It's titled, Sam Harris Trashes Brett Weinstein with Alex Jones Comparisons. I'm not going to play the whole thing from the Majority Report commenting on it, but they all do their little NPR Ka the Snake voice to put you to sleep. And they talk about science and how we don't debate people. Both the hosts of this show and the show they're playing try to talk as soft as they can because that's a trick to show you've got such a high IQ. Oh, we don't interview any of these other scientists.
Wait, is Sam known for that? Talking very softly? Okay.
Just because they're just a husband and wife team and they're just kooks. And, you know, they'll tell you that 14 scientists resigned and it's just a lie. It's made up. Why even respond? So they're lying to you. Talking about
Does he think they're like married or something? Alex Jones is always on the pulse. He's always got so much information, right? He's always got all that parchment just right below him. He's like, yeah, no, we've got facts on this, facts and figures. I mean, or maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe there's more to the lore.
about why they don't debate people because they lie. Meanwhile, overhead
Alex
shot,
Jones is never
please,
wrong.
before
There
we
is that
play
meme.
this, I'm just going to show you some of what's really going on from even their own sources. So here's this Majority Report talking about it in their NPR voice. And then
Okay, hold on. Did you print out a thumbnail for their YouTube? You fucking boomer. All right, just so we know what we're talking about here, I've got an actual printout of the thumbnail. That's right. So, yes, this is the channel itself, a Majority Report husband and wife couple, clearly in the midst of a post-coitus blush.
talking about it in their NPR voice. And then here's New York Post article, 2 senior FDA officials resign over Biden administration booster shot plan. That's the number one and number two. Top 2 vaccine officials resign from FDA amid political pressure from Biden administration. MSN. 2 top...
Oh, no, that's why he probably does this. Because, yeah, he doesn't want to get exposed for having tabs open with trans porn. So, yeah, instead, he just uses this. The analog is safer. He's not going to just open up a piece of paper and then it's just there unless, you know, someone tries to play a little prank.
The officials resign over the Biden administration booster shot plan, and they said don't give it to children. And they said that it's probably creating the deadly variants. And they went on and saying Biden's being political. And there's another article out of Newsmax. 2 FDA officials resign over Biden's booster plan. It was over more than that. Here's Politico, FDA
Why are you
panel.
printing all these
That's the
websites
2.
out?
Then
This
they
is
voted
so
Saturday,
weird.
16-2 to say don't have boosters. But these guys don't care. They just said...
Yeah, Roman Bear angrily going into the Office Depot, printing everything on his lap. Look at this! Look at how much parchment he has! This is like a tree. He has, like, that has to be the equivalent of 1 tree, at least. 1 tree to satisfy Alex Jones. Like, no more computers. They're dangerous, all right? Random tabs open. You never know what's going to be on them. Sometimes preferences, Pornhub. I don't know, okay? No more tabs. I need parchment. I want all the paper.
Hey, oh, it's probably a lie. This is just like the fake story that ivermectin overfilled the hospitals and that it was the poison control, 70% of their calls. AP had to retract. They all had to. It wasn't
The first part you just said you made up. No one said that. Never overrun the hospitals.
true. Okay? The whole horse pace Oklahoma
Do you live in the
story.
same state, Roman?
So that's
Oh, I
what's going
forgot
on.
he's
And
on the
now Biden
ivermectin
says
too.
They're just going to override all that. Here is FDI advisory panel votes against recommending COVID-19 booster shots for most Americans. So notice they don't show you any facts. They just lie to you and say that's not going on. Or all the big news that they cooked it up at Wuhan to infect humans, created a nanoparticle to do it. But they sit there.
Wow. You know that a lot of people were flirting with that whole Wuhan lab theory? He doesn't flirt, all right? No, he goes all in, balls deep. Balls deep, baby.
And talk about how dumb people are. And they don't know the science. That's a talking point. I don't know if these guys got paid. And everybody else got paid that we know of to say these very things. A lot of the shows admit they got paid. So it's very, very evil. So here is one show using another show and just sitting there with the worst confidence act I've ever seen, laughing at people. So here are these Benedict Arnolds against humanity.
I guess, yeah, that is kind of our shtick, eh? All these morning lefty shows, they're just I don't get it. They're all just laughing at us. It's like they don't take us seriously. They don't understand all the deep nanoparticles and the artificial insemination that happened at the Wuhan lab factory. I mean, we know this to be true, and yet they'll show you what video footage, computers.
Very, very sad people. Here it is.
And we would all learn from the two of you, learning from each other. Thank you.
Hey, Corey. Thanks for the question. Yeah, this is a hard one for me, actually. You know, I get that it seems
Sam Harris.
Crazy not to just flip on the microphone and talk to the guy, or talk to him and Heather, who's also been his partner in crime. It's hard to put this in a way that doesn't sound
something
like a personal attack, but the reason why I don't want to do a podcast with Brett and Heather is the same as why I wouldn't do a podcast with a 9/11 truth conspiracy theorist or Alex Jones or anyone in that world.
Charles.
Sam. Sweet little 1350 Sam. Look at you. Look at you. That's what pushed it. That's what pushed it too far. That's where you were like, you know what? Not so down. Not so down with these intellectual dark weebs. Nope. They don't seem on the level. It was the horse paste. That was the breaking point. The breaking point for Sam Harris, one of the most brilliant minds in the atheist community. Good to know. I'm glad Sam Harris had a breaking point.
There's a basic asymmetry which is very hard to overcome.
Does he say
it's
Joe
so
Rogan?
much easier to make a mess than to clean it up. It's so much easier to light several small fires than to put them out.
Also, why do you talk like this all the time? I feign to believe you go to the dinner table and say, darling, the minutiae of what you've cooked is simply perplexing to me, and yet I would like some butter. Please give me some butter. Like, does he? Is that a podcast voice? Like, I'm not doing a podcast voice right now. This is what I sound like in real life. When I read a news article and I try to be like Caleb Maupin and I'm like, breaking this story, that's me putting on a voice. But if I had a podcast, I wouldn't do a full hour in that voice. It would be weird. So is that just how he's always speaking? Please read the Communist Manifesto with the Sam Harris voice. Sure.
It's like a 10-to-1 advantage. To put it that way, it sounds like my concern is not losing a debate, and that's absolutely not my concern. If you're going to view this as a debate, it's won almost immediately. But I worry about what people take from the
debate bro tactics. This was a debate. It's won almost immediately. That's the Sam Harris equivalent of I've already surpassed you intellectually. That's right there. All right. That's your Vosh on Destiny, Byrne. That's the Sam Harris equivalent. If there was a debate, it would be almost completely destroyed. You would not survive. You wouldn't leave the room, to be totally fair. But that's not what this is about.
Counter, and I just don't want to do additional harm to our public conversation about what is in fact an important public health concern and a growing political one. First, the asymmetry. The reason why there's such an asymmetry here is that it is just impossible to debunk most things in real time. And even if the point being made is in fact spurious, it won't seem spurious to 99% of an audience, right? So
normally I play Sam Harris on the show to rip into him. And by the way, Sam Harris bros, chill the fuck out. All of you. Whenever I put a video up and it's got Sam Harris in it, you all just lose your shit. Same with Jordan Peterson. Your daddies are going to be okay. I don't get the whole fucking keyboard warrior like, how dare you? His intellectual capacity surpasses yours on every single level. Your IQ will never match a quotient of his. He is already blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, what? Why? Like, you're not being paid for any of this. And he doesn't care. He doesn't watch my shit. It didn't hurt him. Hopefully I can deprogram a couple of you. That's kind of the goal here. But my word, they lose their shit online. Sam Harris fans, Jordan Peterson fans, it feels very culty, you know? Like Jimmy Dore fans attack you not only because you're attacking Jimmy Dore, but they also try to attack you as like a rad lib and a fake leftist and all this kind of shit. Same with like Caleb Maupin fans, those kind of, that's that. But Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson fans take it very personal. Like you've gone after their father or something. Like, how dare you talk about my dad like that? He's a genius. Listen to the way he speaks.
Person on the conspiracy theory side of things can say, well, what about the 14 CDC officials who resigned last week and wouldn't give reasons when asked? What do you make of that? Right now, there's probably nothing to be made of that, right? I didn't even hear about it. And the truth is, I just...
Wow. Okay, total side note, since we're talking about the Mario movie, I could not agree more. Danny DeVito should have been Mario, not Chris Pratt. We were robbed. I agree.
Made that up. But when delivered in the context of a, quote, debate about these things, with someone whose whole angle is there's conspiracy everywhere, it can seem like, oh, you didn't know about that. Well, that's clearly a problem. You should look into that. What about the paper that just came out of Micronesia that showed...
There's so many reasons why things like that could happen, by the way, though. Like, you could be like, why have a whole bunch of people from the hospitals suddenly resigned? Like, why have a whole bunch of nurses quit? Could be because it's like a war zone in there and they got tired of dealing with people dying every single day, like hundreds of humans dying, and it just like really fucks with your psyche and you don't have a lot of sleep because you're understaffed and that kind of shit. Could be a reason. Or is there something nefarious? Did something else happen? We're just asking questions here on the Q Zone.
Ivermectin was 100% effective. I didn't see that paper out of Micronesia. Oh, you didn't? Well, okay, you should really do your homework.
Wait. No way. Is Sam Harris the latest inductee? Do we have another? Can I add him to the gauntlet of ivermectin? The gauntlet of paste? Is he joining the gauntlet of paste?
Pause it for a second. What I found fascinating about this was that this is exactly
No, he's joking. No, he's joking. Oh, okay. Damn. I was so close. I almost had Horse-Paced Harris. Almost had it.
Amanda Montell was talking about yesterday on the program, right? Those phrases, you should do your research. What did they call it? Like the conversation ender, or
cliched conversation stopper.
Yeah, something like that. And the hallmark of these conspiracy theorists.
When
Did you hear
delivered
that?
in the
He makes
context
it up
of a
and then
quote,
says we're
debate
making it up and says he won't debate people because he's so high and mighty, but he's a liar.
Wait, what? Sam Harris, come on. There's a lot of things you could accuse Sam Harris of being or doing. You know, the Peacock app is obviously one of the favorites, but like, oh, the man debates. He does not shy away from that. I don't know if he'd platform you, Alex Jones, because like, you're a horrible, wretched human being who shouldn't really be given more audience. So there might be that aspect. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's see what he's selling.
We're already halfway through September
course.
2021.
Here we go. Give it to
It's
me.
just incredible. And
What do we
now
got?
the world is waking up that InfoWars.
Ultra
was the
paleo
tip of the
monkey
spear,
chicken
was dead
skin.
on. That's why it's more important than ever to keep us on air.
Semen
And
retention.
thank you all for your support.
If you
your
drink
prayers,
semen,
and
you
your
can
word of
retain
mouth
your
is
own.
key to
Increase your
circumvent
own
and
levels.
override the
Extra
censorship.
semen.
And get great products at InfoWarsStore.com at the same time that are 50% off that make you healthier, wiser,
course.
and overall a
Give me some
stronger
of them,
immune
baby.
system. We have Winter Sun, 50%
Nice.
off, vitamin D3, back in
Yes,
stock. We have
never
Ultra
go into the sun again because we give you the sun in a bottle. It's great, especially for gamers. Ultra 12, advanced vitamins, B12, non-GMO.
12, high quality vitamin B12. Take it out of the tongue again. Back in stock, 50% off. We have our incredibly strong turmeric extract.
And you know what's great is that Alex Jones is a walking model for all of his products. Like when you see him walking around, you're like, there's a man who takes all of the Alex Jones InfoWars products, and this is what I could become if I just keep taking it. Pure turmeric. Cool. Oh, for $29.95? Do you know how much fucking actual turmeric you can buy for $30? You can buy a fucking bag like this. Like it would be monstrously huge. That is such a fucking scam. Like, I buy it. It's great for cooking. Like, what the fuck? You sell it in this little teeny vial for $30? Oh, but you save $10. For thousands of years, turmeric has been used as a valued part of life for so many. It's used in traditional cuisine and those who utilize herbs to actually support the body. Experience the strength of ultra-high quality turmeric today with the InfoWell's Life Pure Turmeric Extract. You can even save even more when you bundle it with the ultimate turmeric combo. Bodies. Oh, sorry. The turmeric formula Bodies. Is that supposed to be bodies? Bodies, the ultimate turmeric combo. Oh my.
Concentrate, back in stock, 50% off. We have our great sleep aid. Knockout, back in stock, InfoWarsStore.com.
It's
and
so
the hair
cheap.
And beard formula
It's the
for
cheapest
men.
fucking
It's also great
spice.
for women. It's really a multivitamin.
Hair and pore support for men, also for women. Hey, we're expanding. It's a wide umbrella. There's a lot of room here, okay? Yeah, come on. Or maybe it's woke. Maybe he's trying to, smash gender stereotypes, the idea of people, non-conforming genders and stuff like that. Why do women have to be beardless and men have to be the ones with beards? Perhaps it's a powerful statement. We don't know. Hair and beard support for men. And now for women.
Back in stock, all 50% off.
Check out the shipping fee. One-time delivery. Wow, double the price. The exact $19.95. Jesus Christ. So I buy this little thing of pills that will do nothing. It'll make me possibly sick if they still have mercury in them. But I have to pay $20 for the shipping?
It's really a multivitamin. Back in stock, all 50% off at InfoWarsStore.com. We can't stay on air without you. Please continue to support us. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
It's so weird that he wants to do this instead of like just subscribers or Patreons or anything. He's like, he must make so much more money through the pill game. Fuck, I gotta get in the pill game. But yeah, to the person in chat who's saying that, InfoWars store, it's goop for men. That's what it is. Infowars.com, 100% goop for men. That's all it is. Whole bunch of weird shit selling you broken dreams, exploiting people's like natural insecurities. If they're like, oh yes, I guess I would like to be a manly man. I don't feel quite manly enough, and I often feel inadequate in many ways. But look, pure male potency. Oh, I also sometimes feel as if people belittle me for my intelligence. Well, we have Brain Force Plus. It's everything you need. Every insecurity you've got, you can have it covered with the Infowars.com store. You know, don't shit on the vagina crystal eggs. I won't do that. Okay, I know Kegels are important, and sometimes you got to train yourself to be able to smash a crystal egg. I get it. Lauren Chen going mask off. I don't think Lauren Chen can take off a mask. She doesn't have one. Be right back and alienate myself from literally everyone real quick. I'm not pro-Israel, so you're pro-Palestine, right? Right? Paul Joseph Watson has the correct take on this. What is Paul Joseph Watson's take?
You've experienced this, Alex. There's this grating, obnoxious insistence on both the left and the right that you have to vehemently support Israel or Palestine. And the one thing that pisses either side off the most, more than supporting Israel or Palestine, is not supporting either. And that's been my position for a long time. I refuse.
Perfectly centered. Perfectly centered. Balanced, as all things should be. And it's great because it's like it's the least amount of effort he has to put into anything. He's like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, you can ask me about it. I don't care. That's my view. I think it's so darling, by the way, that he called Sam Harris and Emma a soft-spoken couple. Like, I don't know if he's joking or he thinks they're in a relationship, on top of which he thinks they're both soft-spoken. Like, have you only seen like 5 seconds of the show? Like, they mauled, they scream.
But it is very odd for me to be find myself more aligned with Sam Harris's perspective on a item in the news of the day than say,
oh no, that's not true. Sam Harris, like, as one of the new atheists, Sam Harris falls into the kind of like extreme Islamophobia crowd, as well as pretty racist. He's got a lot of weird 1350 rants, which are super yikesy. But like, in terms of him trying to follow medical science, not eugenics and stuff like that, but I'm talking about trying to follow like a vaccine protocol, I could see him trying to call out Brett Weinstein and all the, like, if you have any background in, let's say, not just science itself, but in medicine, because he's a brain surgeon, or wasn't he? Okay, someone can correct me on that. What is 1350? 1350 is something that race realists believe, that they use the statistics that black people commit 50% of all murders, but they make up 13% of the population. Therefore, black people are predisposed to be murderers. That's kind of like the logical train that they'll take. Now, the more modern version of that, because that can be very easily debunked right away, so you're like, whoa, that's just not true. Race is a social construct, etc. They will then add, well, okay, it's not black people being like genetically predisposed to committing crimes, it's the culture. And then if you're like, okay, well, that's also kind of yikesy, and then you try to explain, like, there's a lot of factors that go into the fact that, you know, there's historical discriminations, systemic racism, all this kind of stuff, but they don't want to really talk about any of that. They really want to talk about the fact that it's the culture, it's the hip hop, and it's the fatherless, and it's all this, and that's where they usually go.
Let's say, like, you know, Glenn Greenwald. And I think that's a fair assessment based upon what Harris says here. Sam Harris was asked a question on one of his Ask Me Anything things. The question was, what's going on with Brett, what is his name? Brett Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Brett Weinstein and Heather, what's her last name? Hein, who I think are married and have a podcast together. And they have been devoting a significant amount of time to vaccine skepticism and ivermectin promotion.
My name is Corey. I live in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. My question for you is more of a vote than a question. I'd really love to hear you discuss the Eric Topol podcast with Brett Weinstein on a future podcast. I know that you have considered that and kind of ruled it out at this point, but I'd love for you to reconsider. My sense is that there is a lot more common ground to land on than disagreement. And each of you, I think, could actually learn from the other about their own sense of reality surrounding the issues.
Pause it for a second. I also just like to cultivate this kind of audience too. Wow.
I know.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
It's got to be really tough, and I'm not going to have to let him play through the whole thing again, but like, it's got to be really tough for someone like Sam Harris, who did so much cross-pollinating with the rest of the intellectual dark web. So a lot of your audience is going to be also fans of Joe Rogan. They're also going to be fans of Jordan Peterson. They're also going to be fans of like all the people in these circles. And if you've got sections of it who are like, hey, by the way, we don't know all the things about the vaccine, see? And at the same time, there's all these things that they won't let you talk about because Big Pharma and they silence us. But apparently hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and all these other things have been shown in trials to be very effective in vitro. And like, this is pretty exciting. Like, obviously, if you're like, well, that's just horrifying that you're doing this with such a massive platform, you should be telling people about the vaccines, their efficacy rates, and the fact that the people who are dying are almost entirely, like, it's 0.05% of them are vaccinated. The rest are all unvaccinated.
To our public conversation about
thanks.
What is in fact an important public health concern. And
oh yeah, I've seen this. T1J does do a good job. I agree.
The asymmetry. The reason why there's such an asymmetry here is that it is just impossible.
That's when I was into T1J, and then I think T1J, honestly, I think he makes good videos. I have brought T1J onto charity streams before. He's very friendly, very nice, and everyone just was like, lib, he's a lib, Lance, why are you watching and supporting a lib? I'm like, oh, geez, lefties, you gotta calm down. I mean, like, he can be a liberal and still at the same time have a very good critique of Sam Harris, you know? Like, we watch a whole bunch of liberal content sometimes where it's like, this critique specifically is good. Like Sam Cedar is not an anti-capitalist. Like, I know everyone loves him, and I love him too. He's Daddy Sam, but he's not an anti-capitalist like Michael Brooks was. Stop listening to white lefties. They know nothing about culture and theory. I mean, it's true. T1J is great. Follow me.
It's a personal choice, and
there are some good libs. Yes, there are some good libs, and I mean, I don't like actively in my head think I cannot wait until the socialist uprising so we can first put Sam Cedar on the chopping block because every single person who did not admit that they were fully on board with our socialist ideals is going to be first in line, and then after him T1J, and then every other person who did not align themselves correctly. Like, hopefully this process and this pandemic and the increasing wealth disparity and all these things that are happening are awakening more people to class consciousness. They're going to learn all these things, and they're probably going to be interested in some theory, and then they'll expand through there. Although it is dangerous that Sam Cedar is kind of, since Michael Brooks left and now Jamie's gone, he's not surrounded by an anarcho-communist and a socialist anymore.
And, you know,
Oh,
It is what it
DOJ's
is.
been around for so long.
But it's another to go out there and ostensibly ruminate about this stuff. There's some things you do not say in public.
As a broadcaster.
As a broadcaster, whatever.
Somebody with influence.
And maybe I'm extrapolating, but you also don't say it in public because of context, right? That public is not just in terms of how many people can hear it. It also is the circumstance.
I genuinely feel sometimes that leftists use the term lib as an insult the same way conservatives use the term pedophile. It's just like every single thing that I hate or don't like, it'll be like, oh, well, yeah, but you're also a pedophile. You're also a pedophile. Oh, yeah, you're also a lib. You're a lib, too. Oh, yeah, everyone's a lib. That's true. Matt is. That's true. Matt is pretty left.
Of the public at that time. It's one thing to say 10 years from now, ivermectin, we should look into. Or 5 years ago to talk about ivermectin might be something that people would have, obviously. But when you say it,
I completely agree with Sam here. This is what I've been screaming for the longest time. This is what all these fuckers were doing with this fucking ivermectin shit, and this is the problem with it. If you come out and you said like that would have been, I wouldn't have even critiqued Jimmy Dore if that's all he did. If it was just like, you see this right here, huh? This study on ivermectin, yeah. And then he just talked about how, yeah, it's interesting that there's a study and I want to wait for these trials. And once the trials are done, I think it's going to be a really good thing. And then, we'll wait to see what we see. There could be a conspiracy to suppress this information from Big Pharma. And I'm also going to advocate use of it. And then, hey, here comes Brett Weinstein. Yeah, Brett Weinstein's just going to take it on air. And be like, yeah, it's totally safe for humans. Here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put on safety goggles first, of course. But,
it now, and you talk about it in the context of everything that's going on politically.
Now, like post-vaccine,
where ivermectin is not just ivermectin.
Yeah, John Oliver's a good
solution that is used is deployed to convince people.
Like, I'm sorry, I think you're inching a little close to the LARPy territory. If every single person or public figure who isn't 100% pure-blooded leftist is like something that you claim to like, they're going to be up against the wall. They're next on the wall. It's like, oh yeah, they did a good thing here. Yeah, they did, but they're still getting the wall.
People that the vaccine is unnecessary. This all is important. Now, so I want you to listen to this last part, and I want you to just keep in mind what I've just said about context, because I am here not only to praise, but all right, so go to 1955.
No matter how
none of us is pure. We're all getting the wall.
Attentive to caveats they can seem, and I will grant you they can seem incredibly reasonable. They do not seem like Alex Jones, and this is why what they're doing is so insidious. But the basic message, the basic implication of everything they say, and the apparent reason behind everything they're saying is the belief that these COVID vaccines are dangerous, and you should be worried about them. You should be profoundly hesitant.
I have been saying this for so long now.
The pushing of these vaccines.
It feels so weird to be validated by a horrible racist. Thank you, Sam Harris. But he's right, broken clock and all that.
It's colossally unethical. That is what they are messaging, right? They've said as much explicitly on their own podcast. I think Brett called it the greatest crime of the century or something insane like that. I should get the actual language right.
I mean, you should really start showing them the clips from Dennis Prager, who said that if you have not advocated for the use of ivermectin, you have participated in death. That's taking it up a notch. Like everyone's kind of like doing their thing. It's like, it's weird. This could be suppressed. It's true. Hey, I'm going to take it live on stream. Okay. If you do not advocate openly for ivermectin, you are killing people. You are killing them.
Hold on. Okay. Now I've taken a few minutes and found the transcript of Brett's confabulation on this topic. He's talking about the absolute scandal of the suppression of the life-saving knowledge of ivermectin.
Antagonism against libs should be reserved for those who are actively antagonistic against lefties. Yes. And that way, the left seems a lot more palpable, a lot more welcoming to other people. It might be something that people are interested in, and they don't log in, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, I'm kind of curious about this. You were saying something about like surplus labor theory or something like that. I didn't really know. And then the response is like, lib, the wall is approaching. Get ready for the guillotine. Like, whoa, no, I just wanted to know what y'all are about. I don't know. So I kind of like Bernie Sanders and his campaign. I wanted to learn more,
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
So, it's back to that stupid static again.
You think I don't know what's going on in here?
It's a conspiracy.
You look lost. Suddenly you're looking at my scary videos and you just don't really know what to make of it, do you? I'm guessing you want some context?
In my practice, I use anthropomorphism to give inanimate objects new narratives. Anthropomorphism is when you give human-like characteristics to non-human objects or things or ideas, really. There's a school of thought called object-oriented ontology that prioritizes non-living beings to humans. The difference between my work and object-oriented ontology is that I don't think you can remove the humans from the objects that we're studying. How humans used it is part of their story.
Hey, do you like movies? Do you like Serfs? Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs the cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, may you shower us mortals with gifts from the heaven. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are your humble jesters, clowning around for your amusement. To our lord, Trevor R. and Alexander Thaler, we give you our thanks for this meager land for us to toil our seed. To our knights of the Round Table, Hagbard Sealine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariana McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Ants Are Still Running the World, Coulter Smith, Tom Groh, Val 9000, Jenna Tal, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glasses and we salute you, our comrades.